Hello friends, we want to share with you how God has been teaching us about multiplication over these past few years. There's a verse in 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 2 that says, "And the things you have heard me say in the presence of many witnesses, entrust to reliable people who will also be qualified to teach others." And this simple principle, faithful people investing in faithful people who invest in others, has become the theme of our ministry journey.
Our last term began with COVID-19, which left us separated for 7 months, with him stranded in the U.S. while Michaela and I were in Poland. It was a very stressful and uncertain time.
I thought this was a major setback, but God was teaching us that ministry doesn't depend on our physical presence. It depends on faithful people who can carry on the work. Kaye, you were faithfully ministering there while I was stuck here in the U.S., weren't you?
Yes, during those months I was building relationships with our church family, helping Michaela survive, and learning that God's work continues even when things don't go as planned.
When I returned in August of 2020, we led our church through online services until we could meet in person again in May of 2021. With Michaela's graduation and my completed doctorate, we sensed God preparing us for transition. But this wasn't just about us leaving, it was about Paul's principle in action. Through 2021, it became clear that God was preparing Roman, a man from our congregation, for pastoral ministry. The things Roman had heard through years of teaching and mentoring, we were now entrusting to him as someone qualified to teach others.
In early 2022, we called Roman as our intern pastor. Then Russia invaded Ukraine in February, and everything changed. Our church had become about half Ukrainian, and suddenly we were overwhelmed with refugee needs.
We housed about 400 refugees, set up beds in our church, and within months sent over 700,000 pounds of food aid to Ukraine. This crisis didn't disrupt the multiplication pattern, it revealed it. Church members opened their homes, people transported supplies, donors sent aid. A network of faithful people emerged.
What amazed me was seeing how our church family stepped up. People we had been investing in for years became leaders in this crisis. They willingly opened up their homes, fed people, and donated their time and resources to help in any way they could.
We delayed our departure from Lublin, but during this time something beautiful happened. We saw that the church would not just survive without us, it would thrive. Roman embodied everything we had been trying to model for years. This multiplication was working.
In October 2022, we moved to Wrocław. I began teaching English at a language school, which gave me wonderful opportunities to build relationships and serve others.
And I started teaching at a seminary. The principle of 2 Timothy 2:2 took on new dimensions for both of us. I wasn't just pastoring anymore, I was training pastors and leaders. I taught in Warsaw, made trips to Holland to teach missionaries, provided online courses in Kyiv, Ukraine, and began helping launch a seminary in Tanzania, East Africa.
We also became involved in 2 churches in Wrocław. At Second Baptist Church, I helped with children's ministry in their kids club, investing in the next generation.
And with the International Church of Wrocław, Kaye led their Sunday school ministry while I also preached regularly. Together, we helped this congregation become registered with the Polish Baptist Union as an independent fellowship.
What I loved about the Sunday school ministry was that it wasn't just about teaching children. It was working alongside the other teachers and trying to create a program that would be effective in our setting with kids from different countries.
Exactly. Notice this pattern. We weren't trying to create dependence on us. We were building capacity in others. Whether it was Kaye teaching children or supporting Sunday school teachers or me mentoring pastors, the goal was always multiplication.
Through all of this, the unexpected separations, the refugee crisis, the church transitions, God has been preparing both of us for what comes next.
Every season has taught us more about multiplication, about investing in people who can invest in others. Kaye's work with children and teachers, my work with pastors and students, it's all been part of God's plan to show us the power of faithful people investing in other faithful people.
Thank you for walking with us through this journey. Your prayers and support have made all of this possible.
What you're seeing isn't just the fruit of our ministry, it's the fruit of faithful partnership in the gospel. The story continues. We're excited to share with you what God has in store for the next chapter.